Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create your own DIY box where you can collect all of your little letters from magazines for your art journals, junk journals, or any kind of journaling. This is just a simple way to create it using some cardboard, tape, glue, a couple of other items. But this is if you don't want to go out and buy another plastic storage container, you simply just want to make it at home in these very simple steps. Some items that you'll probably need during this is definitely some kind of paper glue as well as some tape. It's quite nice if you can use tape that you can paint onto as well in case you want to kind of cover the cardboard look at the end. But you can use regular tape too, see-through tape. A pair of scissors would be helpful, or if you do have some kind of hobby knife, that will help with the cutting, especially of the cardboard. So I've got this one, which needs to be used very carefully because these are very sharp. But yeah, I have like a surface underneath, so when you do the cutting it doesn't go through. And then some bits of recycled cardboard. So I've got an egg box and a couple of extra cardboard packaging that I'm going to be using for this. Two other items that are going to be really useful is a ruler and a pencil for marking off your lines and spacing. So I'm going to start by first measuring exactly how long this cardboard is here, because this looks like it will be a really nice kind of size. So I'm going to do 26, which will be over there, 26 centimeters, and just cutting along that line. So I'm going to mark off 26 centimeters, and then going down it is going to be 18. So we've got 26 across and 18 centimeters down, and then I'll just draw this line as well. Then I'm going to be taking the X-Acto knife, I think that's what it's called, or hobby set knife, and I'm going to be cutting these lines. See, these cut really easily, so I would recommend these for cardboard if you have one. But otherwise, scissors will work just fine. Ooh, getting a bit skew there. Ooh. Okay. I might need another little cut. So it doesn't really matter if that happens, it's not so bad, that can always be glued. So we're not going for perfection here, we're just going for usefulness. So that is going to form my base, and now what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to be creating some parts to put around the side. So these need to be the same centimeters, so this is going to be 26 and that's going to be 18. So I need to cut two 26 pieces and two 18 pieces. So those I can use this same cardboard, and I'm going to measure out probably about the width of a ruler. Length is good, so let's do 26 centimeters. Okay, there's 26. I will do about that length and make the line at the top. So if you'd like to know, this is about 3 centimeters. No, wait. This is about 2.8 or 3 centimeters. And then I want to create another one of those. Go. gosh, my pencil's getting stuck in the ridges, but that's okay. So we'll draw that line. So those are my 2 long edges, so I'm going to cut those with my X-Acto knife again. And use the ruler as a guide just to make sure I stay on the line. So one went through nicely, but the other did not, so I'll have to go over that again. Okay. So there we have one like this, and these are going to form the borders of the box. And let me just cut this other one quickly. Okay, that did the trick. So there I have those 2, which will form those sides like that. And then I need to cut my 18 centimeter sides as well. So they will also be the width of a ruler. So I'm going to go 18, make a line, and 18. Down, and another one, and then these are going to be cut out again with the X-Acto knife. So using my ruler as a guideline. Halfway there. And cut this out. Okay, great. Pull them apart. Okay, so now put that aside. Let's put the lid on while we're not using it. Then, so you've now got the 2 sides like that, and then you also have your other sides, which will form the basis of the box. I've already done one of the sides, but I'm going to show you now exactly how to do it. So what you want to do is you want to take your paper glue, the bubble, you want to take your paper glue and you want to put a line of it directly onto the side of your cardboard. It helps if you're using a thick cardboard because the glue will have a greater surface area to stick onto. Then you want to take one of your sides and I must also put glue over here as well. So then you basically just want to take your side and press it into place on top of where the glue is. And just spend a few minutes holding it there in place. This part is a little bit tedious, but that's what happens with this kind of glue, is you do need to give it like a little bit of time to dry. So I'm just holding it where it's supposed to be. And it should start to look something like this, but as you can see I haven't held it for long enough yet. So let me just hold that for a few minutes. I'm now going to quickly put glue on my last sections. This will also help the other piece stay in place if I act quickly with it. So I'm putting glue on all of the sides. Use a sort of good portion of glue for this, going directly on all of your sides. And then I'm going to take my last piece of cardboard, the 18 centimeter piece, and I'm going to be holding that in place on my cardboard. If you feel like it's not sticking, don't stress, because that is why we also are going to be using tape. Tape will just help to reinforce this glue. What you could do right now is lay it down flat like that. Just make sure all the parts are in place. And then just leave it, walk away for a bit, and it will glue to some extent, even though you can see here like there's a little gap. It's not too much to worry about because we will be using some tape as well. So I've left this alone for a few minutes and I've come back now, and you can see it is stuck together fairly well. And now I'm going to be using the tape to kind of secure it into place. So what I'm going to do is break some pieces that are fairly small. What I love about this tape too is that you can just break it really easily. You don't need scissors. Then we're going to start by sticking the tape onto the corners. Just very gently, because the glue might still not be completely stuck. So I'm going to secure all the corners first. And the last one. So as you can see, our box is starting to take shape, and now that the sides are secure, I'm also going to turn it over and secure as many parts here that I can as well. So I will do that and press it from the bottom. Just really want to make sure that the sides are going to stay on and be nice and secure. Probably used the word secure a couple of hundred times already. But we want this box to stay together. I think one more on this side will be good. Okay, so now that I've done that, as you can see, it's already like a lot more secure than it was. But what I do want to do before I do anything else is just stick a couple of inside tape pieces as well, just to make extra sure. So I'm going to be, the more bits of tape you can get on here, obviously the more secure it is going to be. So I'm going to do a few. I'm also going to be sticking the tape into the corners as well, just as an extra reinforcement. There we go, something like that. Okay, so this is my last corner over here. And just pressing that tape in, and then I just want to put one or two pieces on this side as well. So that should be enough now. As you can see, I've got about that many on the outside, and I've done all the corners double, so from the outside and from the inside, and it feels pretty secure right now. So now we're going to be moving on to the next step. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to be making, these were 18 centimeters, so I'm going to be making a couple more 18 centimeter long little slots that we can stick in here. So I'm going to first try 18 centimeters and see if it fits. If it is too big, then I can always trim the edges. So I've measured out 18 centimeters, and I'm just going to make a couple of those, and then we'll see how many we need to put inside the box. So I'm using another piece of scrap cardboard to do this. So right now I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think I can get 9 and 10. Okay, so my lines are not exactly straight, but hopefully it should still work. I don't think it matters too much. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to now cut those out. What we definitely want to have when we're creating the spaces in our box is we want to have enough spaces for all the letters of the alphabet, and they might have a couple of extra blocks for like exclamation marks or question marks, or maybe even little whole words that we want space to keep. So this box should be like multifunctional in a few different ways. Okay, so cutting that, now I will cut these. One. Two. Oh my word, I just went totally off the wall with that one, but I'll try now cut it on the line. So there's 3. It shouldn't matter too much. It's still gonna hold, I think, its shape alright. So this is what happens when you're making art. It doesn't always go perfectly, but that's okay. You work around the mistakes. Okay, so before I cut the others or spend all that time cutting, I'm going to quickly test how these will fit inside. So they're 18 centimeters and they do slot in pretty nicely, so that is good news. Okay, great. So what's going to happen is these are going to slot in like that, and they really are fitting well, so 18 should be another good measurement. This one's a little bit short. So I'll cut the others. These first 3 are perfect. So that's what we want them to do, is just kind of like slot in nicely. I'll keep that one aside for a bit. I'm going to cut the others, and then we'll see how they fit in. Okay, moment of truth. Where is the lid for this thing? Somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, cover that up. Then let's see how these go. So, okay, it's a little bit better. That one will go in there. This one. These are going to be stuck in as well with glue, but I just want to kind of space them out for now and see how many spaces I need, how many gaps am I going to fit all the letters of the alphabet. So I'm just sort of laying them roughly for now. Okay, so that looks fairly good. Alright, and that's quite a good amount of space, I think, for them. So I'm going to now put glue onto these and get them stuck in. I probably won't need these two extra ones. So let's go. So what I want to do is take my paper glue again and put that all the way along, and also make sure to put it on each of the small sides as well. Okay, so then this I'm going to slot in and just make sure it's balancing as much up as possible, and then just leave it there. Try not to move the thing too much. So now I'll do another one. So I'm basically just eyeballing it with the amount of space between each of these. Kind of, it's more or less the size of like a ruler length as well. So yeah, just going like that, etc. So I finished gluing all of them, and now what I'm going to do, just to make sure that they really do stick well together, is I'm going to put some heavy books on both sides and just kind of make sure they're pressing inwards so that these sides will definitely stick. And I can also put a heavy book on top of here to make sure that there is some tension from the top, and that will press down the glue. So let's put this book and press it down a little bit, but not too much. And then I'm just going to leave that for a little bit to dry, and then we'll move on to the next step. So it is a few minutes later. I'm going to take my books off and away from the sides. And there we have, this one has moved a tiny bit, but that's okay. So there we have pretty secure little shelving unit is what it looks like right now. But what we're going to be doing is now cutting some small little blocks that we can put into here. Or the other way that it could be done, which I might give it a try just to see how it will work, is that I cut one long strip and then I just cut slots where each of these shelves are. So I might try that, because that will actually make this very secure. So I'll show you both ways, but the one way will take a little bit shorter than the other. So what I want to do is measure 26 centimeters, which is over here, and then draw my ruler length and draw a line down. So I'm going to make a couple of those. I probably need maybe only 5 or 6 of these. Let's just see how many I can fit here. see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I can just fit 6. So that should be enough. So now I'm going to be cutting those out with the X-Acto knife. Maybe I should do this one first. Okay, and let's get these cut out. Okay, that came away really nicely. I love when that happens. Another nice one. Okay, and the last one. Yes. Okay, then I am finished with this for now. I'll probably use scissors for the next part. So basically what is happening with these is that it will slot in like that. So what we'll do is make measurements of exactly where the connecting points are. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm holding it on top, and I'm going to make a very clear mark, and try to make your pencil line straight up as possible. This is a little bit challenging, but it's quite important that the placement is correct. Okay, so that's kind of what mine looks like. And now I'm going to take a pair of scissors. This is a little bit easier with scissors because scissors I'll be able to control where I'm cutting up until. So, okay, here's a pair of scissors. So, very important is that you want to cut until a certain point, and then you want to stop. You want to make sure that there is a space that remains uncut along the top. So I'm going to do like about that, and as you can see I'm cutting just until a point and then I'm stopping. So I've left, so let's do this one and cut as straight up as possible. This will be a little bit flimsy, but it should serve the purpose that we need it to. Okay, so there we go. So I would say probably left like about that much space at the top. Right, it's not a lot, but it's just what we need. Then this is going to be hopefully working, and what should happen is that I'm going to slot it onto these pieces as best as possible. Let's see if this is going to work. If this doesn't work, there is another way to do this, but I want to try this way. Just not sure how to get it on. Okay, this is a little bit of trial and error, this part, but we'll see how it goes. So that's hooking pretty nicely. Okay. I think what I'm actually going to do is rather do the other method where I just cut the little slots and we'll glue those in. I think it actually might be an easier way. So I'm cutting the slots and these are going to slot in like that, and we'll have to glue them in. So I think this way looks like it will work a bit better, and you can kind of fit the pieces in as you're going. So this one I might actually have to cut a little bit more. So it's just cutting little squares. You can just follow the same lines. If we were using a thinner cardboard, it might work to do that first method, but because this cardboard is quite thick, and I still need to like reinforce the structure a little bit more, I think that this individual square block method will work better. So I'm going to be doing that, and this will take quite a bit of time. So I will start to glue some of these in just to show you, and then I will carry on. So I want to put the glue once again on 3 sides, one side, the bottom side, and the other side. So 3 sides, slot it in, and it is holding in place pretty well, so that should stick nicely. So what we're going to have is kind of these little spaces, and that is where our letters are going to be able to go. So this is where I'm at so far. They are holding in pretty well with the glue, and it's also making these ones a lot stronger. So I don't think I will even need to use any extra tape. So I'm just going to carry on cutting using the same technique, just holding this in place and drawing my lines. And then I'm just cutting those. This box will have plenty of space because I'm already like on A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And then there's going to be all this space, which is where numbers could be stored, it's where exclamation marks could be, and I might also have spaces for just like colored pieces of paper that I want to keep, or even like words. So there will be plenty of space in this box, which is pretty cool. So here it is, all finished. I've got enough spaces for all of the letters of the alphabet, and then I've got some big spaces to collect numbers and other things. So now I'm just going to be going through all of my magazine words and cutting out different letters that I can put in these spaces. To make it a little bit easier, I'm going to be writing the letter just with a marker, and that will just help me remember like where each of the letters go. This can also be painted and made really pretty, but I'm just going for functionality and a place to store the letters. Okay, so I finished just writing those in. So I've got all the spaces. So for example, once I cut out a letter S, I can store it in the S box, and the R can go in the R box, the C can go in the C box, and so forth and so on until this is full. One extra tip for getting the letters out of here once you want to use them is using one of these. They will clip quite nicely onto your letter if you feel like your fingers aren't fitting in there so nicely. And that was an introduction or a little tutorial on how to make your own DIY letter holder for art journaling, junk journaling, or this holder can also be used to store all sorts of different things, little toys, beads, etc, etc. The list goes on. So happy art making. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you again for another video soon.